In the summer, it gets hot. So what do you need to cool yourself down with? A fan? Ice cream? A cold drink? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize we were living in the Stone Age. No, we here at Goody Reader use the latest technology to cool ourselves down. And with that comes the Sony REON Pocket 5. This is, yes, the 5th generation of these units, and this is a summer 2024 release, making it the most recent REON product you can purchase today. This one also comes with new improved ducting, an all-new neckband, and a body sensing tag. There's a lot going on with this unit, and we are dying from both the heat and the anticipation, so let's check out the Sony Pocket REON 5. Thank you to Sony for sending us this sample. This is the REON Pocket 5. They sent us the 3 not too long ago and they said, hey, great video, how about the 5? And we said, wow, okay. This is the latest 2024 summer release of the REON Pocket 5. And not only that, you get the neckband and the thermo sensing kit, which is this tab right here that we're going to get into. But first we have to unbox the unit. Now, a while back, Sony made this kind of initiative to stop using a whole bunch of plastic, and straight up from the opening of the box to the little strap that goes around the documentation, nothing is in plastic anymore, which is really appreciated, honestly, when it comes to an ecological standpoint. So you do have a USB-C, and what I like about this is that it actually gives you a 90-degree bend USB-C. This is the thermal sensor. We'll get into that in a little bit. And you have the documentation. The documentation is only going to be in a couple of languages. It's not going to be like a pocketbook e-reader where you have just 1,000 languages on here, but they do give you English, they give you Chinese and Japanese, and you have your warranty information for each individual component actually as well. So let us crack this open because this is very exciting. We don't know what to expect. We had the 1st and 3rd gen. Oh, look at that. Okay, you know what? I will tell you right out of the gates, this whole composition here is drastically heavier. This is really, that's really heavy. Now, I will tell you that they have added almost like a rubber coating on the neck brace, and they didn't have that before. Before it was just kind of hard plastic, so your neck actually got a little bit sweaty. They have deviated away from the ceramic rubber coating over to the 3rd generation metal plate, and look at this, they have a vent that diverts air away from your neck rather than on your neck. I'm pretty sure we can take this off. You can. Up until the 4th generation, they just had an open vent, and this heatsink actually blew hot air to dissipate the heat on the nape of your neck. But now they have rerouted that to deviating it away from your neck via this snorkel, which is really nice. Of course, this is not built in. You can take this off by simply removing from the bottom, and this is the first time they've changed the overall appearance of the unit. They have gone with a plastic on the outside with vertical lines, Sony logo at the top right there, and they've changed the overall construction. Up until the 4th gen, it has been mostly business as usual, using the same tooled shell, but this one is different. It is no longer piano finish on the outside. So you get all this great stuff. Now, what is this? This is a thermo sensor that you actually wear on your person, and what this does is actually sense and send information from your body to that to automatically adjust how cold it needs to be. And we'll show you this when we get into the review. It does require a battery. We're going to put that in there for you. And look at this. It looks like you have 2 different snorkels that you can attach here. So there's a lot of stuff compared to the other generations of units. We have to weigh this though, because as I said, this, in at least of my initial presumptions, it does feel heavier, but we won't know until we get it on the scale. And actually, before we weigh this would be a good opportunity to look at the differences in build. You'll see that the vent was at the top, and now it's been more streamlined and hidden underneath this overall top cowl. And the back still does have that heatsink with very similar tooling right there. Now, this is significantly more chunky. Look at that. It's almost 50% thicker compared to the last gen. This is much more streamlined. So we're going to put the 1st gen on there right there, coming in at 89 grams, and we're going to put the 1st gen shell of the neckband as well. So the whole package comes in at 104, and again, that's 89 grams for the actual unit. Now this one, which is the 5th gen, comes in at 118, And with the snorkel and the neckband, the total package weight is 163, so it is a little bit heavier than the previous generation constructions. How's that going to feel on your neck? There's only one way to find out. If you haven't seen our other videos, there's a great deal of prep before we go outside, and this one more so than ever. We have all these kind of vents and ducts and the unit itself and the phone that we all have to kind of get going before we can put it on. So let's do that first, and then we'll head outside. Alright, so we are outside, and already this is an absurd amount of things you have to wear in order to stay cool. I have this, as you saw in the previous shot, huge apparatus on my neck that almost feels heavy. It is very evident that I am wearing something on my neck. I have this rubber hose ducting, and I have this clip that I need to wear on my person at any given time, and now I have my phone here with the application. So I'm going to set the smart tag as it is on my body to automatically cool myself. So as you can see here, it is currently running cool, and I am on smart cool right out of the gates, and it will measure exactly where it needs to cool my body temperature down to in order to hit my target temperature, which is basically decided by the tag on me. Now this tag is not necessary. You don't need the tag. It's an add-on that allows the process to happen automatically rather than you always controlling it from your phone or your accompanying tablet. I must say though, looking at all of this, this is so much stuff on the 5th version. It is so much to focus on. It is so much to have on your body, with now 3 things I need to focus on when it comes to batteries. The CR2032 in the clip, the USB lithium ion on the back, my phone battery connected to Bluetooth, and what kind of ducting you will need on your neck to get the heat away from your body. It is so much to focus on, and it is such a strong departure away from the first generation. However, it is 40 degrees out right now. I kind of feel cool. The first and second generation utilized almost like a rubber contact patch on the nape of your neck. This one utilizes a plate of aluminum, and it feels significantly colder than it was in the previous generations. I will admit to that. I just don't know if the coldness you feel outweighs everything you have to wear. Along with that, the immense amount of focus and, to some level, whatever degree that is, battery anxiety over everything you now have to focus on. But it does work, and it is, technically speaking, better than it's ever been, with sensors and optional ducting. So from that regard, it is the best one they've ever made. It just leaves it to you to make the decision if it's really worth it from a logistical standpoint. There's a lot of stuff happening right now. However, yeah, it works. I'm cold, or I can be hot. It's your choice on the app. It's heavier, it's become more complicated with more moving parts, and now features something that you need to connect to before you can connect to Bluetooth, but all pun intended, it is still cool. This is a totally unique product from a mainstream household name manufacturer, especially one as big as Sony. And especially given that this has lasted 5 generations without fail, makes it infinitely more interesting. Is it a little bit too convoluted just to cool yourself down? Oh, absolutely it is, but this is honestly one of the most badass pieces of technology we have seen in many moons. Details are down below.